And tonight, in the future of everything, 2028, you might as well circle the entire year on your calendar because, once again, we've got another big reason to call that the year of the future. Not only could we be back on the moon, maybe see artificial intelligence become super intelligent, we might even see the United States get their very first government-owned quantum computer. At least that's what the White House is hoping, with President Trump signing an executive order, or a slew of executive orders calling for a quantum computer and then something that they are calling quantum genesis. Now, the goal is big. It is to pull from the best quantum labs, build this sort of supercomputing hub, which would help in breakthroughs, transform material sciences possibly. And then, of course, there's the whole cybersecurity, national defense, encryption, decryption part of this. And that is huge. If you're rusty on your quantum states or your linear algebra, just remember this. If quantum computers get good enough, a lot of the math that we use to pay for everything, the tap of your credit card, that button that you click to buy something on Amazon, all that gets very weird, very wobbly, very vulnerable, which is not great for trust. And trust is like the whole point of money. And that's not even getting into the whole quantum warfare stuff, entanglement. We're going to need so much help for this conversation because we are way out of our depth. But fortunately, we have one of Caltech's premier theoretical physicists, Dr. John Preskill, truly one of the leading human minds on all of this. Doctor, great to see you. John, so first off here, do you want to start with the good or the bad? What do you think? Where should we go?
Well, we'll have to talk about both the good and the bad, and you already have. But all right, let's start with the good.
Okay, let's start with the good.
We're excited about quantum computing is.
Yeah, what do you hope comes out of this push from the White House?
Well, we already had a national quantum strategy. In fact, there was a national quantum initiative which was established in 2018. And this executive order, actually two executive orders, will update that strategy. The government is hoping to accelerate progress so we can have scientifically useful quantum computers in just the next few years, which we hope will have a lot of potential for making new discoveries. But one of the executive orders addresses the more disturbing side of quantum computing, which is that it can be used to break the codes, which we use to protect our privacy routinely whenever we communicate digitally. And as you remarked, if quantum computers become capable of code breaking before the world is prepared, that will be a very scary situation. It will mean that we won't be able to do online banking securely. We'll be vulnerable to identity theft. Maybe bad actors will be able to get control of our devices and use them against us. Fortunately, there's a solution to that problem, which is to make a migration to new codes, to new crypto systems, which we think will not be vulnerable to attack by quantum computers. And the second executive order emphasizes the urgency of that task of converting to these new crypto systems in a timely manner to protect ourselves.
It can't come soon enough. Prime numbers are not what they used to be. I do want to ask, though, right now, it seems like, again, this is all on the horizon, but there's a lot of talk about data harvesting going on. Basically, like the idea of just going out there, scooping up a ton of data, and then hacking it later when the technology catches up. Do you worry about that type of situation?
I do worry about that. It is possible to capture private data that we would want to keep private for a long time into the future. And when quantum computers become capable, then that harvested information will become vulnerable. But I'm at least as concerned about the real-time uses of quantum technology to break codes once they become available for that purpose, because we won't be able to communicate today or when that day arrives in a way that's secure. So we really need to put protection in place.
Yeah, and we'll continue to follow this and really appreciate you stopping by to talk with us. John Preskill, thank you so much.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.